Hi everyone, thanks for watching. This is my reading for Leo in October of 2015. Leo in October 2015. Before we get started, I just want to let all of you know that I really appreciate all the views and comments and everything you've given me over the last couple of months, even though September was a little bit late. And thanks to all of that, I've decided to start a Patreon page where, if you like these videos, you can leave me a tip. I'll put a link to this at the end of the video, so look for that on the side. Now, let's get started. How will October 2015 go for Leo? How will October 2015 go for Leo? October 2015 for Leo. Let's see what the cards have to say. Lots of towers recently. Okay. What we have here is the central card, the Queen of Swords. And the Queen of Swords, well, swords is always the suit of intellect, the mind, and reason. The Queen here has firm control and command over this intellect, over this power, and she uses it to rule over her home, her group, her family, the people around her, guiding them, giving them the right advice, making sure they know what's the rational and right thing to do, even if it's not necessarily the happiest thing to do. The Queen of Swords is sometimes a bit of a sad character, or not representing a sort of reason at the expense of one's emotion, doing the right thing even though it does not make you happy. And crossing that is the Tower. And so if the central theme of the reading is the Queen of Swords, the central challenge this month is the Tower. The Tower, one of the more striking cards in the deck, is the rapid destruction of something that has been important. When your company, your family, your career, work environment, an idea that you have believed in very important in, a relationship, something that matters, something that's important, is destroyed rapidly, out of nowhere, surprisingly. And so here, the Tower, then, we have the Queen of Swords here, representing the sort of basic feeling of the month, having to deal with this rapid and sudden destruction. Now, in the past here, things were looking decent. The Six of Pentacles here, well, Pentacles is the suit of money and wealth and career and relationships and worldly connections and whatnot. And so we have here the Six, which can be either one or the other. Either the figure giving out charity, giving alms to the needy, secure in his own wealth and position, and thus able to help others. Or one can be the needy individual receiving alms and receiving charity. There's a Tower here, and so I'm inclined to think that things have been seeming okay. It had seemed like you were in the position to do well and to help others But that is past. And now something traumatic has happened. That old situation of comfort has been destroyed, and it's gone for good. The Ten of Swords here represents the sort of total finish. These ideas of here, swords representing ideas and thoughts and whatnot, have turned around and stabbed you in the back. One's reason has betrayed you. It has led you astray. And thus, it has led you to a point of ending. Now, that sounds like a horrible thing, but oftentimes the ultimate culmination of thinking and reason is the epiphany, the Hegelian synthesis, one might say, where this individual on the ground is not a dead body so much as a husk, a chrysalis, from which a new being, a new way of thinking, a new vision will emerge. Even here in the traditional imagery, we have this poor stabbed figure looking forth to the golden horizon beyond, anticipating the escape and his escape of his soul and his rebirth in this new golden land, better and stronger for the experience of it. So we have here a situation ending rapidly and decisively. And here we have the Five of Swords here in one's head. The way one thinks about it or interprets of it is that somebody's gotten the best of you. Somebody has beaten you in a contest. Here, you're one of these figures, Leo, slinking off, defeated, with your sword dropped on the ground and claimed by the victor. This is a pretty rapid turnaround. That's why it's represented by the Tower. Your reason has led you into defeat, and you got to find a new way through it. Let's deal with her later. Here we have the Seven of Pentacles. The figure, the farmer, waiting for his crops to be ready, waiting for the right time to pick them, waiting for the moment to be ripe. And I get the sense that this is a challenge. Sometimes this card can be where you're starting. Sometimes it can be a challenge you're facing. And I get the impression here that the challenge the cards are saying, Leo, is that you can't wait around for things to improve. You don't have the luxury now of just waiting for a new opportunity to emerge. You need to get right back out there and start recovering from this defeat. You need to get back on the horse and start riding again and make your own way in a new direction. People around you are going to present a couple different options, but they're also going to be options that it's hard to keep track of at the same time. Pentacles, once again, is your family, your social connections, career and wealth and whatnot. And here we have this figure juggling these two things, dancing and falling back and forth, not really able to keep them both in the air very well. He's just a 2. He's not a very good juggler yet. And so in family and friends, I get the sense that living through this traumatic experience means you end up having to keep all these different things in the air at the same time. And it's not easy. And these are your friends, these are your family, these are people important to you. You want to keep everything going here, despite all of this problem, despite the end of this comfortable situation and the total destruction and defeat it represents. But it's hard. And it's so hard to keep everything in the air that it's tempting just to wait for your new situation to appear. It's tempting just to wait for it until something clear and obvious comes up. But you can't do that. Hopes and fears. This childlike time in the garden. You want this to all end. You want to get back here to where you were giving out charity and things seemed nice. You want to go back to just sort of enjoy calmly and peacefully without a care in the world. Well, yeah, that's understandable. We all kind of want to go back there now and then, especially after something bad has happened. But you know what? You can't wait around for that. You can't get too caught up in that vision, in that dream. Now here, let's take a look at what the cards say is coming. We have the High Priestess and the Three of Cups. Three of Cups is one of these nice cards. We have this sort of joyous celebration, these three figures rising their cups to each other in a toast, happy that something has happened in this verdant, fruitful garden that they're dancing in. That's a pretty good time they're having. Despite all this, things aren't that bad, really. Or at least they won't be that bad in the near future. Problem is, between here and there, it's a bit obscure. The High Priestess keeps her secrets to herself. She doesn't tell anyone. And so in a lot of ways, when we see this card, particularly in the future, it represents a mystery, a situation in which it is hard to see, or which the proper way of action, proper course of action, the direction in which spirit is calling is not clear. And so, on the one hand, things are going to be okay, but on the other hand, it's unclear. And you know what? I'm interpreting this now is that partly every person's way there is different. This reading is for all of you Leos out there, and each one of you has a different step you need to take, a different action you need to take in your life. And I'm willing to bet you know what that action is a lot better than I do. Or you will, at least, after this has happened. And so I think it gets back to this card, the 7 here, which is really the most important card in this reading, in my opinion. This is your challenge, and it's to be, when all this hits, when all your reason and rational understanding of things has nonetheless led to defeat, destruction, and the end of a road, you can't just wait for things to regrow. You can't just wait for it to go back to how it used to be. You got to move forward on your own and choose your own path. If you found this helpful, check out my Patreon account at the link you will see at the side. Thanks for watching.